Hello and welcome to the TES Secondary Maths Resource of the Week number 41 with me, Craig Barton. Now, I love nothing more than a good mathematical investigation, but the problem is often the ones I come across tend to be aimed at either Key Stage 3 or Key Stage 4 students, which is absolutely brilliant because those are the ones that we need to really hook into maths and help them develop mathematically. But of course, when students get to A-level, there's the danger that maths just becomes very procedural and just working towards exams. And now that they've got rid of the January modules, the January exam sittings, I think that frees us up a bit more time to do a bit more of the investigative stuff with our students and really hook them onto mathematics and make them want to study at university and beyond. And there's not all that many really good quality mathematical investigations and ideas around for those level and age group of students that I've come across anyway. There's certainly the RISP collection by Johnny Griffiths, and I've linked to that in the blog post below. But this is one that I'm certainly adding to the pile. Andrew Chambers, if you've never visited his website, and there's a link to that on the PDF I'm going to show you, it really is worth a visit. And it's just a wealth of rich ideas and puzzles and activities and snippets of mathematical history. And what Andrew's kindly done is assembled all these investigations, well the best of them anyway, into a 90-page PDF. And he says 100 maths investigations, but I reckon there's close to over 200 on here. Absolutely phenomenal stuff. So it's a PDF to download or a Word document that you can edit. And let's take a look at it. So there's a link to his website, ibmathsresources.com, and Andrew says these are aimed at A-level IB and gifted GCSE students, and that sounds about right. I think many of them will be a little bit over the heads of most Year 11 students, but certainly to hook them, the brighter ones, onto A-level, it's brilliant. But even more so, those A-level students who you think you can really push and help develop and grow their love of maths, these are ideal for them. Now, it will take me probably a year to go through all these, and I've got about 3 minutes left on this video. So I'm just going to pick out a few of my favourites. So the first few pages here, I've got over 100 ideas with them as it stands. So modular arithmetic, the classic Goldbach's conjecture, all that kind of stuff. If I just pick out a couple of my favourite here, I really like this one. I'm a bit obsessed with Pascal's triangle. This links to the Maths is Fun website and just all the different patterns in Pascal's triangle, which you could certainly use with Key Stage 3 students, but showing your A-level students where the binomial formula comes from, getting them to speculate why it comes from there, why on earth does Fibonacci appear in binomial, how can we use binomial for combinations of probability, is there a formula for each of the rows, and it's just wonderful stuff. So that's just one of the ideas. Egyptian fractions, which again is perhaps something that you could use with your younger students, but then we get into things that are probably pitched more at the higher A levels. So Riemann hypothesis, if they can crack that, they're onto a bit of a winner. Chinese remainder theorem, bit of Fermat, twins prime problem, and it not only does it kind of give students an insight into the wider world of maths, it also teaches them a bit of the history of the subject, which I think is wonderful. And then we get onto things like this here. Does this sum equal a half, which is absolutely lovely investigation, and it links to a wonderful number file video on it. And this is what's nice about this, it collates the kind of best of the maths on the web together in a lovely blog, and now it's all in this PDF. Then we get on to geometry, and there's some beautiful geometrical investigations into the fourth dimension here with the tesseract. Stacking cannonballs is wonderful. Let's just have a look at this actually. Again, I could get carried away and go on about this all day. A wonderful investigation into all the different ways of stacking cannonballs and the relationships between them that I certainly wasn't aware of before. Is it linear? Is it quadratic? Is there any pattern at all? Wonderful little investigation that you could do with a lesson or half a lesson with your students. Then we get on to calculus and projectile motion and linking e's together with logs, which is a beautiful thing. And then this is something I really want to spend a bit of time on as well, and that's statistics. Because statistics, God almighty, I mean, I've taught S1 and S2 for the last few years now, and they can be really dry and dull, and they can really turn off some students. And I love stats, I'll just do them all day long, but obviously not all students will. And I've just got some wonderful ideas from here just to show students the real meaning of statistics at that higher level. And of course you get classic things like the Monty Hall's problem and the birthday paradox, but also really interesting things like links into black swans and counterintuitive probability, things like that. Absolutely brilliant. if I just scroll down as well, I'll just show you the rest of this because again I'm running out of time. What he goes into things in a lot more detail throughout the rest of the PDF, and this is one of my all-time favourites. It's no secret the fact that I don't mind a little bit of gambling, and this is brilliant. The mathematics of bluffing, and Andrew links to a wonderful Plus Maths article on it, but then he has his own little spin on it, and it's absolutely brilliant. And it's a little activity or investigation that you can, or simulation probably, that you can do with students in your own classroom about the probability and when it makes sense to bluff. And it's fascinating, just using simple tree diagrams but applying them at such a high level. Does sacking football managers affect the results? Brilliant stuff. Analysis into the birthday problem, and so on. Look, I'll just warn you, if you sit down to read this, make sure you've got a bit of spare time on your hands, because I can't stop. It's just absolutely wonderful stuff. Complex numbers, complex roots, plots, fractals, they're all in there. So there it is, 100 maths ideas, and more than 100, a lot more than 100, all on one PDF, kindly uploaded by Andrew Chambers. It's years worth of work just sat there waiting to be dipped into and used with your students. Could I ask, if you do use it, perhaps pop back on here just to either say thank you to Andrew or just pick out a task that you've used and let us know how it went down, because this is a resource that really does deserve to be shared around and go really, really big. So there it is, and I will be back with a fresh resource of the week next week. Take care and bye for now.